So I mean, most of the time, because I was trying to use it for sleep, I find I always get massive benefits with my sleep. This is something where I measure it all, I suppose, through the whoop, and I suppose it's good feedback on where that's at as well. But a lot of the time, at the end of the day, myself and my partner would go down there and just have a 20, 25, 30-minute sauna at probably 45, 50 degrees and just sit there and just, I suppose, more enjoy it. And that's sort of more just to switch off. And every time I seem to do that, we notice massive results through the whoop and how we feel and the next day as well. But when I get close to the race, I usually ramp it up a little bit more, probably 60, 65, just try and, I suppose, shock the body a little bit, get it used to the heat. And it's funny, like, I don't know if it's just in my head that I feel like it helps me acclimatise the heat in the car, but I feel much better for it when I'm actually in the car at the end of those weekends as well. I don't feel like the heat's taking as much out of me. So, that's been a big benefit for myself.
Yeah, spot on. There's a couple of things I want to touch on there. One, the way that you use it for sleep is perfect. And a lot of times people fall into they make the mistake of wanting to use the sauna for sleep, but they still feel like they need to go really hot. And so they'll have it at like 65 degrees and then they'll go jump in bed and wonder why they can't go to sleep because their body's still cooking. So that's great. And this, in terms of like heat acclimatization, like 100% the sauna helps. That's not in your head. We had a triathlete, Stuart Harsley, using our sauna, and he was using it because he was training for Kona, like the big world triathlon series. And what he found was that over time, he was using the sauna at maximum temperature, so 70 degrees. He would be in there for 90 minutes and he put a training bike in the sauna. So then he was on the bike at 70 degrees for this time. He was fit. And what he found was over time, his heart rate was lower and lower and lower doing the same session. So even though he was in there at 70 degrees for 90 minutes, initially his heart rate was like 160, but then over time it was like 150, 140, and his body acclimatized. It's to do with the plasma volume of the blood and its ability to carry oxygen. We get used to the temperature. So, keep doing that. The hotter you can use it, the longer you can use it, the more your body will get used to it. So then you'll be in Bathurst, you'll be in the car for 97 minutes, and you just be like, that's fine.
It'd be great. Get out of the car feeling brand new. It'd be perfect. So it's really good. Actually, I noticed it, and I didn't know of 100% because we changed cars, so it was one car to another different team. So I don't know how the cooling was year on year, but Adelaide back in 2019, it's a very hot race over at the Clipsal 500, it used to be called. And my average heart rate there was close to 160 for that 250k race. And remember my first race with the team last year in 2020, different car, but it was sort of low 140s. And during that time, I did a lot of time in infrared saunas, and I think it made a massive difference to myself. And it's interesting you say that about the heart rate as well. With so it's cool. Definitely keep doing it, I think. So.
And you mentioned the whoop. How do you kind of use the whoop and kind of integrate what it says into your life? Has it influenced any changes based on what you've learned?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, I've been wearing it for a few years now, and it's been really good. I suppose it's the biggest thing I've probably learned out of it is off the back of training, and I suppose the food and my diet and stuff like that. I've come from a place, like probably the last couple of years, my diet probably hasn't been the best at times. I do enjoy my pizza and stuff like that here and there. So, but from that, it's amazing how much what you do during your day affects how your body sleeps at night, even if you don't train that day, and you just have a bad dinner or a glass of wine or something like that, how much it takes your body to calm down and come back under, I suppose, in that resting heart rate when you do sleep. So I've loved every moment of that, and it's funny, I've got my partner onto it now. She uses one all the time, and we sort of live by them at the moment.
It's a really great thing. I don't have one, but Bruce, who you've met, he's got one. And he's shown me all about it, and it's actually super handy having that data. I had a sleep tracker. It was probably 2 years ago now, and I was tracking my sleep, the different stages. I wanted to know how long I was in light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, And through tracking my sleep for a period of like 6-9 months, I really learned that my sleep cycles were like just shy of 2 hours. And when I then based that as to when I should sleep and when I should wake up based on how long my sleep cycles were, I was always waking up at the end of a light sleep cycle. So I was kind of energized. I wasn't waking up feeling lethargic. And like I learned a lot through that process, and the Whoop just takes that to the next level, you know, and you can see like, I had 2 glasses of wine that night. Yeah, my recovery was crap the following day. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's cool. I suppose it's one of the things you kind of you half expect some of it, I suppose, but I suppose it backs it up with the data behind it, and definitely makes you think about it a little bit more, especially whether you have that glass of wine with dinner and stuff like that. Makes you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me think about as well how it just shows how sensitive our body is to all of these little things that we do, you know, even just a coffee in the morning, a glass of wine at night. We don't sleep as well, wake up the next, you know, like it all has this flow-on effect.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Nico Rosberg. When he won the Formula One World Championship, he was like so dedicated. He was doing everything he could. I think he even had like a sleep scientist working with him. And he was doing like ice bars and cryo, and he was doing everything physiologically that he could do to be able to be at the highest level. You know? And I think that really says something about racing, but just about health in general. You know, everyone knows I'm obviously super passionate about helping people with their health, and you know, I've seen in my life that whenever we improve our health, it allows us to just do better in whatever it is that we do. In your case, you know, you've been using the sauna a bit, you know, maybe it sounds like that perhaps will help with those hotter racing sessions. But in any sense, if we're at a high level of health, we can think more clearly, we can take better action in what it is we're doing throughout the day. We can be more conscious of how we do it. I think regardless of the profession, it's really important to be looking after our body as best we can, even if our body has nothing to do with what we're doing. You know, maybe we're consulting on logistics or something. I don't know. Yeah. But I think it's still important.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, everything out there's got a purpose. So, I'm a massive advocate for it. So, it's been really good.
Yeah, cool. How do you keep yourself, I guess, we talked a little bit about earlier, but how do you keep yourself sharp and on the ball when you're in the off season and when you're not racing? I mean, you must have some sort of itch to drive a car fast. How do you
100%. Yeah. So for us, I suppose at the end of each season, it's pretty full on during the year. So we always have that little bit of time off, but getting back into it, it's, I suppose the biggest thing that I found worked for me this past off season has probably been the go-kart. I was probably trying to get in that twice a week. And that's more just to get the brain speeding up. So, even to the point, like I find mountain biking helps me with that. You sort of still the same thing. You're dodging trees, doing all sorts of silly stuff, trying not to hurt yourself. But, it's probably about as close as we can get without actually getting in a race car